हो बहन चोद। ओ बहन चोद, क्या देख लिया है भाई, क्या देख लिया है। सर सर चक्कर खा रहा है, पागल हो गया हूँ। What a fucking night of football, guys. Absolute 10 on 10 night of football, guys. Absolutely 10 on 10 night of football. International, first of all, whoever says that international break is not as good, or international break is more boring, and club football is better, they don't know what they're talking about. Honestly, tonight was an absolute banger. 10 on 10 performances all over. Nations League has delivered. The only backlash and the only complaint that I have is the fact that all four matches were played at the same time, because if they were played at different timings, I could have seen all four, in detail, in depth. राइट नाउ एट दिस पॉइंट आई वाज लाइक कि मैं ये भी देख रहा हूँ, ये भी देख रहा हूँ, सब सब साथ में देख रहा हूँ और किसी पे भी कॉन्सेंट्रेट नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. एंड दैट वाज लाइक गेटिंग टू मी. एंड ऑल फोर मैचेस वर एब्सोल्यूट बैंगर्स. टू बी ऑनेस्ट विथ यू, एट वन पॉइंट आई वाज सो इनग्रोस्ड इन कि मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि ये मैच में जो चल रहा है वो ये मैच में भी चल रहा है. आई वॉज वेरी कन्फ्यूज्ड. बट देन अगेन गाइज, एब्सोल्यूट बैंगर ऑफ अ नाइट. First of all, the first match between Germany and Italy. Germany, even though they went into this game, with an advantage, scored 3 goals in the first game. I don't know why they had to go on and score. They were playing on the defensive. They were trying to not rotate the ball as fast as they should. A team like Italy, who's known for defending, they had to be prepared for counter-attacking football. The way that they slipped up in the second half after the first goal from Moise Kean, not called for. It should not happen to a team like Germany. It should not happen, even though this team is in a rebuild. But it should not happen with a team like Germany. You need to be aware of what your team is going to do. It's very basic football. अगर 3 मैन डिफेंस खेल रहे, 2 विंग बैक है, तो ऑब्वियसली काउंटर अटैक ही करेगा ना. कोई तो रॉकेट साइंस नहीं लगाएगा. ऑब्वियसली बात है, ओवरलोड विंग्स पे देगा, बीच में से 2 प्लेयर, 2 मिडफील्डर्स है, बॉक्स में घुसाएंगे. इट्स ऑब्वियस बेसिक फुटबॉल. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ इट्स गोइंग टू वर्क. एंड ओवरऑल इट वॉज अ वेरी डल गेम. फर्स्ट हाफ तक के डल गेम थी. सेकेंड हाफ में मोइस कीन का दूसरे गोल आने तक के भी काफ़ी डल गेम थी. एंड except for the goals, there was not as much of creativity. प्रॉपर फुटबॉल नहीं हो रहा था. बार बार गेम रुक रही थी. जर्मनी अपने फ्लो में थी. इटली आके डिफेंड कर रही है, फाउल्स कर रही है, टैक्टिकल फाउल्स करके गेम तोड़ रही है, फ्लो तोड़ रही है. एंड दैट इज़ हाउ इट्स सपोज टू बी. इटली इज़ नोन टू डिसरप्ट गेम्स, and that is how they were playing. And to be honest with you, the only upside from this Germany team that I could see right now was 2 things. First of all, Kimmich is absolutely banger. He has been all this season, and he's an amazing captain. Neuer जाने के बाद में I think the step up that is needed from any player, only a few players can do that, and Kimmich is proving why he can do that properly. And secondly, Jamal Musiala, guys, that guy is brilliant. That guy is on another level. Even on the days that he's not playing, like 10 on 10 performances, 9 out of 10 performances, that guy, his presence on the field matters. Every time he touches the ball, he is going to produce something. कुछ ना कुछ तो निकल ही जाएगा उसके बॉल से. एक की पास निकल गया, थ्रू बॉल निकल गया, असिस्ट निकल गया, गोल निकल गया, ड्रिबल कर दिया, 2 प्लेयर टेक ऑन कर लिया. कुछ ना कुछ तो क्रिएट करने ही वाला है, बिकॉज दैट्स हाउ ही थिंक्स. उसके दिमाग में द बॉल इज़ नेवर सपोज टू गो अनप्रोडक्टिव. बॉल के साथ अगर कुछ होना है तो इट्स सपोज टू बी प्रोडक्टिव. इट्स सपोज टू गो टूवर्ड्स अ गोल. इट्स सपोज टू बिल्ड. उसका बिल्डअप होना ज़रूरी है. एंड दैट्स हाउ great midfielders are known. That's how great players are known. Their mentality on the ball, as well as off the ball, but on the ball their mentality shows what kind of a player they are. And this guy, he's supposed to be, he's destined to be great. The way that he plays is destined to be great, guys. एंड भाई मोइस कीन में तो बहन चोद तेरी एंट्री की आत्मा घुस गई थी. पागल हो गया था लड़का. क्रेजी हो गया था यार. ही वेंट मैड. ही वेंट एब्सोल्युटली क्रेजी. And I think if Germany itni, if they wouldn't have been as lucky as they were tonight, I think Italy could have scored the fourth and could have taken them to extra time, could have defended the hell out of Germany, and then they could have gone to penalties where it would have been 50-50. The only reason why Germany won tonight was because they were a tad bit lucky and they defended as a unit. That is the only reason. Anyways, heading to the second game France versus Croatia. Honestly, even though the game was not not as explosive as we expected, because first of all, France, even though they have the absolute craziest attack in international football right now, they have fucking Mbappe, Usman Dembele, Michael Olise, Desire Doué, Randall Kolo Muani. They have crazy players, and still lacking goals, and still not creating as much is something that is supposed to be ashamed of. शर्म आनी चाहिए, शर्म आ बुड्ढों के सामने तड़प रहे हो, फर्स्ट लेग 2 गोल से हारे हो, सेकंड लेग ऑल करके एक्स्ट्रा टाइम में लेके गए, वहाँ पर भी गोल नहीं मारा, उसके बाद पेनल्टीज़ में गए, 3 पेनल्टी मिस किया, क्या कर रहे, व्हाट आर दे इवन डूइंग गाइज. Croatia played a solid game. The only downside to Croatia's game was the fact that they went to France with the mentality that they wanted to score more. Why? You have the players, you have the experience, you know what to do in such situations, and you should just drop deep, contain yourself, deep block खेलो, एकदम क्या कहते हैं ना, सप्रेसिव फुटबॉल खेलो, बॉल मिले काउंटर अटैक करने की कोशिश करो, और एल्स जस्ट शूट द बॉल अवे, ट्राई टू डिफेंड एज मच एज पॉसिबल. बिकॉज विद अ टीम लाइक फ्रांस यू डोंट प्ले मिड ब्लॉक हाई ब्लॉक. हाई ब्लॉक का तो सवाल ही नहीं होता, बिकॉज एम्बापे और डेम्बेले और ओली से तुमको एक्सप्लॉइट कर देंगे, बट मिड ब्लॉक खेल के भी मतलब नहीं है. यू कुड सी हाउ एम्बापे वॉज एक्सप्लॉइटिंग क्रोएशियाज डिफेंस टाइम एंड टाइम अगेन. ओली से वॉज ड्रॉपिंग फ्रॉम डीप इन साइड, ही वॉज ड्रॉपिंग लाइक बॉम्बिंग इनसाइड द बॉक्स टाइम एंड टाइम. क्रोएशिया के बॉक्स में बॉम्ब कर रहा था बार बार, एक बार नहीं, 2 बार नहीं, कितने बार लिए. दैट इज ट्राइंग टू फॉल ऑन योर ओन फुटस्टेप्स. खुद की गलतियों पर क्यों ही बिल्ड कर रहे हो. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड ट्राई टू keep the ego out of it. We know that you're a great team, we know that you have an experienced squad, but keep the ego out of it, man. It wasn't a game to it wasn't a game to be lost. But then again, knowing France, when you go to penalties, it's not going to be easy to lose against such firepower. It's not going to be easy to win against such firepower. And all in all, it was a very average game of football. Could have been better. France should have played better. France should have scored more goals. But then again, delivered as much as needed. ज़्यादा नहीं, कम नहीं, पेनल्टीज तक गए. क्या कहते हैं, जितना चाहिए था उतना डिलीवर करके दे लेफ्ट. दैट्स ऑल. एनीवेज, द नेक्स्ट गेम वाज मेंटल. वन ऑफ द एब्सोल्यूट ग्रेटेस्ट गेम्स ऑफ दिस सीजन. क्लासिक ऑल टाइमर गेम थी यार. ये ऑल टाइमर गेम थी. पोर्चुगल वर्सेस डेनमार्क इज गोइंग टू गो डाउन एज एन ऑल टाइमर इन द नेशंस लीग. Crazy game, mind-boggling performance by Bruno Fernandes, guys. Bruno Fernandes, even though guys, मैं एक चीज़ कहना चाहूँगा, ब्रूनो फर्नांडिस अगर मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड के लिए नहीं खेल के अगर कोई भी टॉप क्लब के लिए खेल रहा होता ना अभी, विच वुड हैव बीन विनिंग सिल्वरवेयर कंसिस्टेंटली, I think Bruno Fernandes would have been rated higher, and I think he should be rated higher, because his impact on the field, it's just not with the ball, without the ball. His impact on the field is how he leads the team. Even though they have a leader like Ronaldo, the person who is driving the team towards the goal is more important than the person who's not more important, but as much as important as Cristiano is as a captain. वो जिस हिसाब से अपने आप को प्रेजेंट करता है विद द बॉल, ये every time he gets the ball, he wants to drive towards the goal, he wants to pass, make a key pass, do something. He slows down the game, but at the same time he wants the game to build around the opposition's क्या कहते हैं ना, काउंटर प्रेस. उन लोग के काउंटर प्रेस को बीट करने के हिसाब से ही विल प्ले द गेम. अगर उन लोग प्रेस नहीं कर रहे, he'll slow the game down. And I believe Bruno Fernandes was not the only spark. We had Rafael Leao making runs, we had Rafael Leao doing stuff, but the only downside to Rafael Leao's game is the fact that he can dribble, he can do everything to beat his man, but the final pass is missing. If you don't have that, then what's the use of all of that flam and shimsham? What's the use of all of that dribble? So I believe Cristiano, guys, उसका तो कुछ बात ही अलग है. उसकी गेम नहीं थी, क्योंकि जिस हिसाब से वो खेल रहा था, he is not a poacher. like he is a poacher, but he's not that kind of player which will not like be involved in the game. Ronaldo needs the ball, and the ball needs Ronaldo. That's how it goes. If you don't deliver the ball to Ronaldo, and if you don't give Ronaldo the touches that he is needing to take in a game, Ronaldo fade हो जाएगा game से, and that is what happened eventually. That is what happened. And I think also it on a personal level उसका क्या कहते हैं body language and उसका एक क्या कहते हैं ना ओवरऑल एनर्जी देख के वो लग ही नहीं रहा था कि ही वॉज ट्राइंग टू बी इन्वॉल्व इन द गेम. लाइक वो धीरे धीरे करके खुद ही गेम से फेड आउट हो रहा था. जैसे पेनल्टी मिस हुई थोड़ा और उसका एनर्जी लेवल डाउन हुआ. ही स्कोर्ड अ गोल, केम बैक इनटू द गेम, बट देन अगेन हिज टचेस वर नॉट एज गुड. गेम में इतना इन्वॉल्व नहीं था. एंड ओवरऑल रोनाल्डो की तरफ से it wasn't as great of a performance, even though he got on the score sheet, even though the goal that he scored was, it was a decisive goal, and the goal that he scored was difficult, very close to the goal and very close to the goalkeeper, but the angle was very acute. So to score that goal in that moment, it takes a world class striker. But then again, guys, not the best that we've seen from Ronaldo, at least not the best that we've seen from Ronaldo in the past few months. He's been playing better for Al Nassr. Roberto Martinez needs to know what he's doing with his players. Like, he needs to know what he's doing with his captain. If he does not know what he's doing with his captain, then what will the team look towards, And guys, one more thing, this game was it was absolutely mental because of one thing, and that is Christian Eriksen. If Christian Eriksen would not have been on the opposition team, Denmark would not have gotten so far. To be honest with you, Denmark were equaling as the favorites towards this game. उन लोग का sofa score पे and the odds were stacked against Portugal. Even though they were playing at home, the odds were against Portugal. But guys, the way that Denmark played this game, crazy. The second goal by Denmark shows why Denmark as a team was more superior to Portugal. The way they came back into the game, the way they took the lead again, absolutely crazy, absolutely mental game by Denmark. And the only reason they lost was because of Trincao. Scored 2 goals, came on as a substitute, scored 2 goals in 10 minutes. Crazy performance, crazy kid. Needs to play in the top 5 league. He needs to sign for some big club, because talent like this does not go unnoticed. And the way that he played tonight, he needs to play for a big team. Anyways, heading on to the last game, guys. The last game was Spain versus Netherlands, and this game had it all, except for defending, of course, because the final score of the game was 3-3. Spain took the lead 3 times, lost the lead 3 times. Just goes to show how much of a fight Netherlands put up to this team. This Spain team is, at one time Spain was supposed to be the most slowest team. Played tiki taka, slowed the tempo of the game down, slowed the pace of the game down. This Spain team, ये Spain team अलग है. ये Spain team को tiki taka और passing football करना है. Of course, they that is their philosophy, but they don't just rely on that. This Spain team on the counter attack, nobody can defeat this Spain team on the counter attack. Nobody stops this Spain team on the counter attack. That is because of 2 people, Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal, guys. The second goal that Oyarzabal scored, the header, I think if Lamine Yamal would not have been on the pitch, that goal would not have been, that goal was non-existent. होना ही नहीं था वो. And guys, I don't know how many times people will say this, I don't know how many times everyone will say this, but Lamine Yamal, guys, he is different gravy. This kid is going places. He is going to be the best player in the world, and he is going to do it at a pace, and he's going to do it at a level that I don't think many players can do it, except for, of course, those 2. I don't think many players will be able to do it. He's doing it every week. He's doing it in every match for Spain, for Barcelona, playing everywhere, and he's balling. He's balling to the finest. And this game was also Frenkie de Jong, guys. Frenkie de Jong is a player who's reaching in his prime right now. If he manages to stay fit, this guy is going to be the best midfielder in the world. And I think Barcelona, guys, if they go with Frenkie de Jong and Pedri in their midfield, This midfield is going to be crazy, guys. It's crazy, crazy. The way he controlled the tempo of this game, crazy. Overall, this game was a banger. This game was a banger. The only reason I did not like this game was the fact that defensive errors were unnecessary. The game could have been over, and it should have been over by Spain's third goal. I don't know why they conceded, and I don't think it was justified to how they conceded. De La Fuente needs to work on his defensive tactics. And other than that, penalties. You can't defeat a team like Spain on penalties, guys, because the mentality, they're Euro winners. Like, come on, guys, you can't do that. Even though Netherlands gave a good fight, but still, you can't defeat Spain as easily. And guys, this was an absolutely banger of an international break. And even though I'm looking forward to club football, if international breaks like these happen more often, guys, we won't miss club football at all, guys. It's immense, crazy, crazy, crazy.